At the beginning of this guild project, I told you I was going to show you two ways to cut the miters. One way is at the table saw, and the other way is using this lock miter bit. This brand is a Yonico, I guess that's how you pronounce it. This is the yellow bit that you'll probably see on Amazon if you go search for a locking miter bit. And I've probably spent 2 to 3 hours trying to dial in my router table and fence to get this thing to cut. And I just cannot get it to cut consistently. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying that I personally have spent way too much time trying to dial this in, and it's more time and effort than it's worth. So I personally would not like to recommend using this bit as another method. I'm not saying that you can't set it up. I'm just saying that I can't recommend it because there's too many issues with it that I think. One of them is it takes a whole lot of time to dial this thing in just right, and that's if your stock is exactly 1/2 inch. The bit that I have is for 1/2 inch stock. They do not. I know some brands like Rockler. I have not tried theirs, so I'm not speaking for theirs. I'm only speaking for this Yonico brand, the yellow brand. I was not able to find a guide block to help me determine and set this bit up just right for 1/2 inch stock. I did buy the Rockler setup block for their bit based off of some reviews that I saw on Amazon. Someone asked if this could be used with the Yonico bit, and they said that it could, so I paid $7-8 and wasted money on it because it does not work with the yellow bit. The profiles are just different. But I would say if you had the Rockler bit, this would work fine because it's made for that, and you would probably have a less of a headache setting the Rockler bit up using this, and you may enjoy it. After spending the money on this bit and spending the money on that guide block, I didn't see it necessary or worth anyone's time to go spend another $30, $40, $50 on the Rockler bit to demo it for you. So I know I was going to show you two different ways, but unfortunately I just can't recommend using this bit. I'm not saying that's that you can't get it to work. I'm just saying that I couldn't get it to work. I've tried on some pine here, and one of the issues that I found with it, if you move this board at all, whether you move it in or out, up or down, don't put consistent pressure on the board when you're running it through, your miter will be wavy, your tongue will be wavy. So if you move it at all, you're going to have potential issues with your miter, and you're going to waste your lumber, have to cut it off and start over. Another issue that I had with it was when I had to run you have to run one board laying flat on your table across it. The next one you have to run standing up and across it that way. And it's a dangerous cut. I barely took any off, and it just tore this board all to crap. There's probably some stuff that I could do. I could probably bring this in closer, and that'd be a safer cut. But again, it's like, how much time do you want to spend on setting a router bit up and a jig and the fence and the height, have test boards that you can dial it in just right, only for you to move it or a week later build another box and have to set it up again. I think it's just worth the investment and the time to build a miter sled and use your table saw. And for strength, you can. We're going to be using a spline jig or a key jig in the next video for strengthening the regular miters. And plus, I released a video on simple, quick, and easy spline miters. So if you haven't checked that out yet, give it a watch. But for this video, I apologize if you guys were looking forward to this, but I couldn't get it to dial it in just right, and I just can't recommend the bits. Once again, that's not saying that you guys couldn't get it figured out. It may work for you. I just found too many issues, for my personal opinion, to recommend, and I can't recommend it. So what I'm going to do with this cherry scrap here is I'm just going to use the miter sled, get it chopped up, and get it into the same state that the walnut box is in. But if you guys have any information on this bit that may be helpful to others, just leave a comment here on Simple Cove on this project video, and let others know what worked for you. But like I was saying, I just couldn't get it to. I couldn't get it to consistently cut the tongues in it without it being wavy. There were just too many issues, and it just took too much time to set it up. If they would have sold one of these blocks that fit their profile that I could find, I searched on Amazon, I searched on their website, and of course I searched Google. If I found one of these setup blocks that worked and made it easy to get repeatable cuts, that'd have been a different story. And I probably should have not saved the money and just would have spent the money to go for the Rockler bit, and things would have been different as well. I'd have been able to use this. So lesson learned, I guess I'm just going to use the miter sled to cut the miters on this and get it caught up with the other box. So, all right, back to the regularly scheduled program.